citizen, kingdom citizen, yeah, yeah, kingdom citizen of Wisconsin. Kingdom citizen, yeah, yeah, kingdom citizen.
Craving some comfort food with a kick? Ashley's Q has you covered, serving up deliciousness every day of the week. Start your week with a taste of the bayou. Our Tuesday seafood gumbo is packed with fresh flavors that will transport you straight to the coast. On Wednesdays, sink your teeth into our country fried beef brisket, crispy, tender, and oh so satisfying. Thursdays are all about the creamy, dreamy Alfredo. And when Friday rolls around, it's time for our famous fish fry. And on Saturdays, we are serving up juicy prime rib and savory pork chops that'll make your weekend unforgettable. And Sundays, it's soul food celebration. Hot chicken and waffles, meatloaf and gravy, fried chicken, turkey chops, barbecue ribs, oxtails, smothered neck bones, catfish, and that's just the beginning. Come find your flavor at Ashley's Q, located at 8718 West Lisbon Avenue. Call us at 414-935-2190. Ashley's Q, where every dish is cooked with love and every meal feels like home. See you soon.
Blessings, 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 everybody. This is Dr. David T. King with Vested in Milwaukee show. Amen. We are back. Our Vested in Milwaukee show. We're going to be coming back live again with my co-host, the Constitutional Queen, and with the PMA Master herself, Amber. So we're excited about this. On this show right here, it's just Thursday night talk, and I just wanted to get this going and letting everybody know that not only is Vested in Milwaukee is going to be going forward, but Kingdom Citizens of Milwaukee will be going forward, as well as Kingdom Holistic Health Ministry is going to be going forth like never before. So we're excited about everything that we're got going on, what we're about to do, and so tonight there's a lot going on, and we need to just address everything that is going on. I have been vocal, letting everybody know I am not supporting Republican. I'm not supporting Democrat. I'm voting individuals. And I'm also telling the truth about both sides. But I do have a question tonight, especially for the Black community. And that question for the Black community is, in the last 60 years, what have we got? What have we got? And what made our community better with everything that's going on? And, you know, when we look at it, we haven't got nothing. They're always saying they're for us. The people are saying they're for us. People are saying that they want to make sure our lives is better. But every time they say that, our lives got worse. Every time they say that, the Black family home has been destroyed. Our education system sucked even more now than ever before. So you got these people getting us all excited about election time when they just sit there and they lie to us over and over again. They share things or they say things that they're going to do, and we never ever get them. And so when we look at it, they gave us a dark-skinned woman to run for president, and then she chose the governor of Minnesota as her running mate. And the governor of Minnesota made Minnesota a sanctuary where children can get a sex change in the state of Minnesota. This governor signed into law that children can get a sex change in their state. Now, if you're an adult and you're trying to get you a sex change, that's you. But when it comes to our children, and if you go do the research and the data of all the young people that had either had a sex change, or any of those kind of things. My tongue is getting twisted tonight because I got so much to say. But a sex change, right? Majority of them either thought about or trying to commit suicide because it's messing them up in their heads. And so when you got a governor that allows this thing to happen under their watch, that should make you think twice about that individual. Bless you, Pastor Walker. Um, and so we lost our moral compass right now. You know, we lost our moral compass. We're not looking at people based on their character. We're not looking at people based on are they a person of integrity? Do they have any morals? We're just looking at the color of a skin, and we're voting in that direction where we're losing out. Our families losing out. Our children are losing out. Our grandchildren are losing out. And we're making these people the savior. You're making both candidates to be something above Christ. Like they're going to come and snap their finger and everything is going to change. It's not going to change because of the fact that they are at a federal level. Now, neither one of them that becomes president is not going to fix the financial problem that Milwaukee County and the city of Milwaukee is going to be dealing with in January of 2025 because of the fact that the mismanagement of the local funding has been terrible. I mean, we've been getting piss poor performance out of people in leadership that you're about to pay for, and the president is not going to be able to save the city of Milwaukee. We have to save the city of Milwaukee. So when you look at everything, there's a lot of things that got to take place, right? You got the presidential race. You got all of these people excited about the presidential race. You got all of these people running around trying to manipulate you. They paying people to go on social media to get you to draw you into their on their side, right? And one thing that I'm finding out, I never heard yet uh, Kamala Harris policies or what she's going to do. Maybe she's going to be the first president to twerk um, in the White House. I don't know. She had people twerking at a political rally, so maybe they're going to twerk in the White House. But we have to ask the people. So let me ask this, because I've been out here for a while, a nice long time, and dabbing into politics. And I remember 9/11, okay? And I remember speaking at a Tea Party rally for 9/11. And everybody that was there, everybody that I saw outside of there, everybody that I ran into was not claiming to be a Democrat, was not claiming to be a Republican, was not claiming to be black, white, Latino. They had one word: American. Everybody was saying, I'm an American. And if you are an American and you love your country, I'm not talking about your politics, I'm not talking about a Democrat or a Republican. If you're an American and you like your country, then it is time for true Americans to do an exodus from both parties so we can save our country. Because if we do not, the parties is going to destroy this country. And it's going to be destroyed from the inside, not the outside. And so we as true Americans, we have to put our petty differences aside and said we got to save it for the benefit of our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. We got to be at a place where, you know, there's a group out that's called MAP, Minor Attracted Person. These are pedophiles with a new name. And they are so much after our children that there's another group called North American Man/Boy Love Association. And they're fighting to remove the law that has a age. Let me pull it up so I say it right, so I can say it right, because we need to see this. And let me pull it up because I want to say it correctly, and I want you guys to understand what was said. All right, give me a second, and I'll pull it up for you. Okay. The North American Man/Boys Love Association, which the initials is NAMBLA, is a pedophile advocate organization in the United States. It works to abolish age of consent law, criminalizing adults' sexual involvement with minors. Are y'all hear what I'm saying to you? They are working to abolish age of consent laws, criminalizing adult sexual involvement with minors. And they are campaigning for the release of men who has been jailed for sexual contacts with minors. Now, I know we don't like that. We don't go for that. We don't believe in that. But the people y'all supporting, the people y'all voting for, they believe that. They believe that. The lieutenant governor of Minnesota says we got to allow the children to do anything or to become anything or to change their sex to anything. Not just a girl to a boy, but if they want to be a cat, a dog, a bird, or whatever. She said, you're not even a good parent if you're not doing that. One of the things that we have to understand and realize is this. Our children should not be indoctrinated trying to figure out their sex, trying to figure out if they a boy or a girl, or being confused in that. Because when we was coming up, many of us that are men, when we was in school, especially second grade, third grade, fourth grade, we thought girls had cooties. We didn't want to have nothing to do with girls. But then when we got to the fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, we used to send that letter, I like you, do you like me, check the box. So we change all the time from as a child, as you develop, as you grow. We don't need our children being indoctrinated with mess. And then they go have a sex change, and then all of a sudden they realize they made a mistake, and then they want to have a sex change back, and then they want to have children, but it's too late because now they're sterile and they cannot reproduce. And so we have to look at this thing and we have to say, you know what? What am I really supporting? This is why I'm not supporting either party. What am I really supporting? What do they really stand for? When are they going to come and address the issues in our country? We send billions of dollars to Ukraine, but we can't solve the homeless problem in our own country. We sending billions of dollars in aid all over the world, but we can't cure the hunger problem in our own country. We're giving illegal immigrants more than we're giving people that was born in this country. A mother who goes out to work and get a job that makes $1 over the plantation's financial status quote, they take their child care and they torture them, or they won't give them food stamps. But you would give illegal immigrants, illegal, not immigrants that came in the right way, illegal immigrants, you're giving them our Social Security, food stamps, money, places to live, but you won't do it for the average person in America. Families are struggling. We're dealing with homelessness, mental illness. The men and women that fought for this country are sleeping under bridges, can't get the right proper care, but illegal immigrants are getting that care. We have so-called black faces trying to lead the blacks either to vote Democrat or trying to lead the blacks either to vote Republican. Now they're being paid, they're eating, but the average person they're lying to, they're manipulating, they're not eating. And they get you to vote for somebody that's going to make it worse on you because you're not asking questions. These ones that's making these commercials, these ones that's doing press conference, ask them how much you're getting paid. Because you got to be getting paid because you're telling us to vote Democrat. And if I vote Democrat, we never get anything after the election is over. So why you keep telling me to vote Democrat? And then if they're coming at you and they look like you and they're telling you to vote Republican, then ask the same question. What are you doing for our community? What are you doing to make sure opportunities is there? It's not about you. It's about them manipulating you so you can do what they want done. That's what it's about. They're being paid. They're getting paid. And look how they see us. Look how they see us. At a political rally, they are twerking. Now, I guarantee you, when Kamala Harris go into a all-white community, she's not going to have a black artist there twerking. She's not going to have probably a black person get up and speak for her. She's not gonna talk like she's country, like she's country when she was the way she was speaking in Atlanta. She's not gonna say that she went to college, smoked weed, and was listening to Tupac when Tupac was a little child at the time she was in college. Both sides plays on you guys emotions. They do not expect you to do homework. They do not expect you to want something. They do not expect you to hold them accountable for whatever they are trying to do or whatever they're saying. They're not going to do that. And so so we have to look at it and says, you know what? No more of this. I had a gentleman call me, wanted me to set up a barbershop talk for a candidate. And I told him, I don't support that candidate. So why would I do a barbershop talk for him and I don't support him? I don't support him. I don't support anybody. You know, I'm looking for people with values. I'm looking with people that got character. And I'm looking for people that have morals. And if I can't find those people, then in those slots, I would either write my name or I'll write the name Jesus Christ. But I'm gonna exercise my rights to vote. But I'm not going to just say, well, I'm going to grab the lesser of two evils. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to compromise my values just because. No. And we got to stop that. We need quality people to run for office that we can feel good about voting for. That we know their character. We know what they're about. We know that they are there for the people. How do we know that? Because they've done it already. That's what I'm saying. Through the last, I ain't even gonna do 60 years. Since 2008 until now, there you go. I like that one. I like that one right there. Let me put that up on the screen. That's it right there. We support people who stands on kingdom morals and values. That's who we stand for. And if we don't have anybody right now, then you know what? We got to pray hard and allow God to guide us, but then we got to get in position so we can have this. This is what we need, because without the morals and values, we're not getting nobody. They will sell us out, and they sell us out all the time. Black people, look, pay attention. And again, I'm in the middle. I'm not choosing a side. I'm dead in the middle. But I want to do it in a way that I need to do it. Milwaukee, Wisconsin has been controlled for 150 years, give or so, by Democrat power. What has the Black community received since the Democrats been in charge? Well, let's see. It's the worst place for a Black person to raise a family. Education for Black children is terrible. Right? These are the things. Now the county and the city is in financial trouble. But they gave themselves a raise, but we have a financial problem. So when you start high taxes, right? Gave the school board money, and look what we found out was going on with the school board. All of this is under the control of Democrats. And I'm not advocating for the Republicans, because the Republicans ain't came in our community. The Republicans haven't given anything to our community. The Republicans could have gave us constitutional carry, but they end up giving us concealed carry. Now the government know who all carry guns. I mean, I'm not excited with them. The Republicans say they was against abortion, but they was giving money to Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood aborted over 20 million Black babies. So I'm not on either side. I'm just going to tell you guys the truth. Until the Black community take the dollar bill and let it circulate at least 10 times in the Black community, then the Black community economic power will never be the way it could be until we circulate that dollar in our community. But they ain't going to tell you those kind of things. They're not going to tell you to do it. And here's another thing. And I know I'm going to make people mad, but I'm always, if y'all know me, I'm always going to tell the truth. You guys can go look it up for yourself. You can push, you can deal with it yourself. But if you in a church, if you belong to a church and your pastor are pushing you to vote for Democrats, who is pushing transgender, until the election, they couldn't even identify what a woman was. During the International Day of Women, they gave the award to a transgender. If your pastor is in the pulpit preaching against homosexuality, but forcing you to vote that way, you need to leave. You need to get out of there. You need to go find you a church that's going to teach you the truth and that's going to live it at the same time. If they getting you to vote against a candidate just because they don't like them, but they can't even tell you why, they can't tell you the real deal on why they going that way, if they telling you vote Democrat because we always as blacks been Democrats, that's even a lie. Go do your homework. Blacks used to be Republicans until after Kennedy died and Lyndon Johnson signed Civil Rights Act, right? But ask yourself this question: did Lyndon Johnson want? Did he really want to sign the Civil Rights Act? Go look up the Civil Rights Act bill, look at the voting record, and look at how many Republicans, how many Democrats voted for that Civil Rights bill. And then you will know that it was passed by the Republicans and Lyndon Johnson signed it and then turned around and did war on poverty to get the black man out of the house. When you go back to look at the real voting oppression, you'll find out that was Democrats. The voting oppression was so vicious back then that they birthed out the KKK. The Democrat Party did. Again, neither party is for you. And until you stand up for you, ain't nobody gonna stand up for you. Until we, the American people, rise up, ain't nobody gonna stand up for the American people. Our founding fathers warned us about a two-party system because that's going to divide the house. And those of us, we already know. And the Bible says, a kingdom that is divided cannot stand. And this is why they're trying to keep us divided, make you mad at one another. And did you ever notice during election season, they always showing clips of a cop killing a black person, or they're showing you a clip of blacks jumping on one white person, or a clip of a white person jumping, a couple of white people jumping on black. Why? Because they want to keep you angry. They want to keep you upset. They need to keep that in your mind. They need to keep that in your head. And then they blame both sides blame each other on why that's happening so they can get you to come to that side. That is called manipulation. They're manipulating us. And so what we have to do, we, the people, we have to come together. We have to look at what is right. We have to look at what do we really want? What do we want for our children? What do we want for our grandchildren? What do we want for our great-grandchildren? And let's make that our agenda. Let's make sure that those policies that are going forth is going to benefit our children and not hurt our children. Let's make sure those policies that's going forth. Now, I heard this come out of her own mouth. Kamala Harris says, I cannot make a law just for blacks. And this is something that Democrats always say. They cannot make a law just for blacks. But they made a law for homosexuality, LGBTQ+. They made a law for Native Americans. They made a law for transgenders. And they made a law for Asians. But they can't make a law for blacks. Come on, y'all. When are we going to see the writing on the wall? When are we going to talk about the elephant in the room? When are we going to decide that neither side is for us and we got to be coming for ourselves? It's not taboo to run as an independent. It's not taboo to say I'm not part of any party. It's not taboo. It's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it at all. But what I do want to say to you is this. Until we make up in our mind, enough is enough. Until we make up in our mind, we will not allow y'all to use us based on the color of our skin. That you're not going to go get somebody you think is our leader as a rapper or a football player or basketball player or actor to try to draw us to the slaughter. That's not going to happen this time. This time, we're going to stand up for what's right. This time, you're not going to fool us. So bringing all that stuff out, trying to make it, no, we're going to do homework. You know, they used to have this saying, if you want to keep something for the black people, put it in the book. No. We finna open up the books. We're going to open up the books, DVDs, and whatever else it is to make sure that people know the truth. And I challenge every believer, right? I challenge every believer. Let me go to the scripture for you on what I'm gonna challenge you guys on. All right? Because I'm going to challenge every believer. Are you a believer? It says this. Let me see. Hey, yes, they did. They tried to give everybody the carrot. It didn't work. You're right, and it was both sides telling you to take the carrot. Both sides. I saw a commercial that had Governor Dole and Governor Scott Walker together encouraging everybody to take the carrot. I saw that. Uh, listen to this. Listen to this. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study and be eager and do your uttermost to present yourself to God's approval, tested in trial, a workman who is not caused to be ashamed, rightly analyzing and accurately dividing, handling the skilled teaching of the word of God, of the word of truth. Now listen, in King James, it's study to show thyself approval, a workman that not needs to be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. If we're going to represent God, his principles, we got to not only know the Bible, but we got to know the truth when it comes to history. We got to know the truth when it comes to whatever area that you're dealing with. You got to know truth. You can't just let somebody tell you something. You have to go and look it up for yourself. You need to go look up both parties' platform and read it. If it doesn't line up with what you claim you belong to, the reason I cannot, and I ran, don't get me wrong, I ran on both tickets. I was a dino and I was a rhino. All right. And let me explain. I was a dino because I was a Democrat by name only because I was on a ticket on the Democrat Party. I was a rhino, a Republican by name only because I didn't agree with everything. That's why a lot of times I didn't get their support because I did not line up with their philosophy as well. Because I already has been sold out to God that I was not for sale. Okay, so being sold out for God, I can't sell out. And I always tell people back then and now that I would never sell the trust of the people. People that trust me, I would never sell your trust. I'm going to tell you the truth. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to go do my research and I'm going to come back with the answer because I would never sell the trust of the people because we have to get the truth out so that we can change things. If we never get the truth out, we can never change anything. And so I've been on both sides. I didn't agree with neither side. Um, and so, and when you don't agree, now, if I was a yes man, let me tell y'all what would have happened. If I was a yes man, if I was a yes man, I would have had help from the Republican Party of Milwaukee County in my campaign. They would have helped knock doors. They would have did a lot of things if I was a yes man. If I went along with their program, they would have came out and they would have because they would have had one of theirs in there. But because I wasn't a yes man, they didn't show up at all for the spring election. And I'm okay with that because of the fact that I'm glad people know that I'm not a yes man. that I am not a Sambo. I do not go alone. I am not a house Ned. If anybody consider me, I could never be considered as a house Negro, but a field Negro, always trying to escape or always trying to help others escape. So if you say, well, you're Uncle Tom, then I'm going to say, thank you very much. Now read a book, because Uncle Tom, Josiah Hansen, helped free most slaves and then open up a school for slaves to help them, empower them so they can have a better life. So that's what you see me as, Uncle Tom. Thank you so much. But here's the deal. You and I has to make a decision. You and I need to know exactly what we need to do for the next generation. I do not want to leave the earth in the condition that is in to the next generation when half of them don't know how to be critical thinkers because they've been indoctrinated. No, we cannot. And we must understand that, people. Until we make up in our minds, until we decide to do what's right by each other, I have nothing, let me say this, I have nothing against a homosexual. If you're a grown person and you want to live that life, that's between you and God. I have nothing. If I see you, I'm going to show you love because God is love. But that's between you and God. But if I was in office, I would not make a law that was immorality. I would not make a law against God's law. I wouldn't do it because I belong to God. I have nothing against you. But when you come after our children, when you're trying to indoctrinate our babies, now you got a problem with me. And so those are the things that you have to look at. Those are the things you got to understand and realize, is that when we are at a place, where we're allowing you to destroy our children's future, where's the parents at? Parents, we need to rise up because they done took your rights away. You need to rise up. California parents doesn't even have a right when it comes to school. There's a law in California that schools do not have to tell the parent what sexual oriented or what gender their child are portraying at school. In California, you can send your son to school. When he get there, he want to act like a girl, and he want to carry himself like a girl, be called by a girl name, change clothes to be a girl, and when he get home, the parents would never know. And then they said the parents cannot know unless the child gives the school permission to tell the parents how they behaving at school. That's a law in California. In California and Washington, your 12-year-old child can run away that want a sex change, and they would never tell you where that child at and help the child get a sex change. We are in a time where we're not even paying attention. We're just voting for people because they look a certain way. This is why Minnesota is a sanctuary for children having sex change. Children having sex change. We got to wake up. I ain't supporting neither side. I tell y'all all the time, but I am going to tell you the truth. And if you're a man of God and you're supporting a group that is making laws against God or supporting the things that goes against God, and then sit in your pulpit and preach against the same people that you're supporting, you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite You double-minded, you unstable. You double-minded, you unstable. How is it that you can sit in your pulpit and claim to represent a holy God and lead the people to vote for unholy people? How is it? How can we do that? How can we, who claim to love God, who claim, and y'all know how we say it in church, give honor to God who's the head of my life. We say that all the time. And then you lead the people to go vote for a party that don't want God. Go read the Democrat platform. There's no God in there. Go read the Republican platform because they done changed their language where it's no God in there. So you tell me, how can you be holy and represent a God and then support a party that don't want your God? And God said you can't serve them both. You can't be loyal to both. That money, it's the money. You can't be loyal to both. And as pastors, we got to be very careful what we say across the pulpit. Because in Revelations, it tells us if we add or take away, and I have seen on TikTok, I've seen on YouTube, I've seen on Facebook where pastor took scriptures and tried to use the scriptures to lead you to go vote for one or the other. But in Revelation, it says, if you add or take away, you will blot out your own name in the Lamb Book of Life. You got pastors telling you that Kamala Harris is the prophecy of God or Donald Trump is the prophecy of God. Now, we got one God, two different prophecies. God is not double-minded. God is not confused. The people are confused. The people are. And y'all got to ask yourself a question. What profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose his soul? Or what would a man give in exchange for his soul? Money from a political side. We use names, we use logos, we use certain words to try to get people to go vote. We use words like souls to the polls, but we never use souls to God. We never use souls to Christ, but we'll go souls to the polls, souls to the polls, and we need you to go vote for people that's pushing transgender. We're voting for people that's pushing for pedophiles to have their rights. We're voting for people through souls to the polls now, because those are the things that group stands for. Those are the things that the Democrat Party stands for. Those are the things that some of the Republicans stands for. Both sides doesn't mean you any good. I said it once, I said it twice, I said 100 times. Because if they did, the black community, the brown community, as they call it, would not be in a condition that they are in if they really meant you any good. So this is Thursday Night Talk, and I just wanted to come on and just share this with you guys because I'm seeing so much mess on things, and I see so many people excited about Kamala Harris running mate Tim Walz, and everybody is excited, but nobody did any homework to find out what this man has done in Minnesota. He made it a sanctuary for children to have sex change. Children now, not adults, children. Children. For 2.5 years, the Democrat Party could not identify. I saw many of them testify in Congress. What is a woman? What is a woman? They would not tell you what a woman is. And now you got the first woman. Now it's election time and they can identify what a woman is now. Y'all, we have to wake up. That's all I'm going to say. We have to wake up. We have to do better. We got to do our homework. We can't just listen to the cheerleaders or the manipulators that are manipulating people to go in a certain direction, to go in a way where it makes everybody feel safe, and blacks still don't feel safe, and blacks still waiting on the law, and blacks still waiting on 40 acres and a mule, and blacks still is waiting on, and you're still waiting. Blacks were still singing, "We shall overcome," because we have not overcome yet. Just because they gave you a black face don't mean we overcame. They just found a black face that was willing to be a symbol to push their agenda on you. Think about it. Think about it, and think about it hard. Because we, as a people, has to come together in order to make our city, our state, our country a better place. This is Dr. David D. King. Until next time, Kingdom citizens of Wisconsin, peace.
Craving some comfort food with a kick? Ashley's Q has you covered, serving up deliciousness every day of the week. Start your week with a taste of the bayou. Our Tuesday seafood gumbo is packed with fresh flavors that will transport you straight to the coast. On Wednesdays, sink your teeth into our country fried beef brisket, crispy, tender, and oh so satisfying. Thursdays are all about the creamy, dreamy Alfredo. And when Friday rolls around, it's time for our famous fish fry. And on Saturdays, we are serving up juicy prime rib and savory pork chops that'll make your weekend unforgettable. And Sundays, it's soul food celebration. Hot chicken and waffles, meatloaf and gravy, fried chicken, turkey chops, barbecue ribs, oxtails, smothered neck bones, catfish, and that's just the beginning. Come find your flavor at Ashley's Q, located at 8718 West Lisbon Avenue. Call us at 414-935-2190. Ashley's Q, where every dish is cooked with love and every meal feels like home. See you soon.
Kingdom citizen,